Yo, how we doing today, man? Just making this video to talk about this last week, right? This has been my worst week by far. And I just want to focus on this week right here. We had a start here to this week, right? We carried over the bad momentum from here to here. So we had 4 straight max losing days. I'm sure you guys saw that. They've been doing well on my channel, right? This was the best week of all time on my YouTube channel in terms of view count. And is it surprising? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. Anytime I lose, I will get more views. That's how the world works. So I don't complain. Honestly, sometimes I have a losing day and I'm like, at least I'll probably make $20 off my YouTube video. So last Friday's video, for example, just so you guys kind of know how much these creators be making, and people be making a lot more than me, but I made $20 off that video that got like 3,500 views. So that's kind of like a rough estimate of how much these videos be printing in terms of money. Last week I made $90 or like close to $100 from this week of trading. So, I guess we only lost $300, even though, this account cost me $200, $50 to pay the activation fee, or no, $150 for the activation fee, $50 for the combine, right? So I made $100 back this week of posting content, which is pretty cool. That's not the point of the video. The point of the video, though, is to talk about this week and why this figure right here, this $402 loss, is a little bit misleading, or very misleading. We have a very big swing here. A very big swing of what made this a $400 losing week and what could have been a very much smaller losing week, if not winning week. And I have stuff charted out on my chart here. Chart out my chart. I have my trades charted from this week, and I kind of want to just go through it and kind of talk about the biggest thing that is causing me to currently fail, right? Something that is controllable, without a doubt. But I want to just talk about the market. I'm going to lock this just in case. Just in case. I don't want anything to happen, right? But I have all the trade setups, or the notable trade setups from this week, charted. And I kind of want to walk through you guys through all of them, starting with Monday. I believe this was Monday here. Yeah, this was Monday. And just kind of walk through the days, right? So our first day was a $200 loss. If we look at this, $200, we took 4 trades. I think some partials count, or yeah, but that's not the important part. The important part, and wow, this is so annoying that you have to scroll all the way back. So just remember, we had a $200 losing day, a $200 losing day, a $90 winning day, a $240 losing day. I'll go over that, even because my loss was $200, so I lost 40 extra on top. And then a $150 winning day. So if we go to Monday on this week, we check out Monday, I'm not going to go over fully the setup, right? I'm not going to go over that stuff. I have the video recaps for that reason. But this was our first setup. We took it, nice inversion. I'm pretty sure we had an SMT, blah, 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 right? That's not important. The important piece is we lost around $100 on this. I try and size myself to where I can take 2 trades. If I get 2 trades, I can lose $200. If not, I try and lose around 100 on the first trade. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, then we have another chance. That's kind of my goal. I want to start risking I want to risk 200 a day, but I don't want to really risk one trade $200 because I like to have a second opportunity to get back in the market, just in case I was in a manipulation leg, just in case whatever, right? I like to be able to have 2 bullets in the market. I'm not really the biggest fan of just doing one trade. I love taking one trade and being done if it's a winner, but I don't like to limit myself to one opportunity where if I take a loss, if I get stopped out, if I had too tight of a stop loss and I'm just done for the day. So I think 2 trades is perfect, right? So that being said, we took our loss, right? But we lost 200 today. What happened? I took this trade right here. No model that I follow, no entry confluence, nothing, no inverse. No entry confluence. I jumped in a random short, hoping to catch a reversal. Hoping, right? That's the key word there. Hoping to catch a reversal. Oh, man, I'm tired. I'm recording this video And it's only 9 p.m., but I just go to bed around 10. So I jump into a trade that's completely avoidable, a completely unnecessary loss right here. This starts the week, an extra $100 gone. So we're just going to keep a calculator tab going, $100 there. And again, people are going to comment, say, don't focus on the money. You're talking about money. I have the same guy say every single video, like basically how he just doesn't want me to hear me talk about money ever again. We're trading, buddy. Trading involves money. If you want to fix mistakes, you have to look at what's happening. You have to look at the numbers. You have to look at the statistics and figure out where is it going wrong, right? So I'm not worried about the whatever money, but I'm trying to explain, what's going on here, right? So on a Monday, we take a pretty good first trade. Maybe we could have gone break even at this low here. Maybe we could have, whatever. We took a loss, right? Cool. We lost $100 on this setup. So I'll give myself another chance. But what do we see on a No News Monday? If we just look through this 1 minute, this is all the way to 11. There is not a single setup. This day should have been one loss. And yeah, maybe I keep looking, but I would have never seen anything to trade in here. Without a doubt, this is not price action I trade. Right? Nothing I would trade. So automatically, we start the week with a $100 loss right here that we do not need to take. That's a whole trade that just wasted, right? These are the margins. These are the margins of my unprofitability and just the impulsiveness, the impulsive nature that I need to get a lot better at, right? That's why I'm making these reviews. Next day here, we come the next day, and in my opinion, this was a decent losing day. The reason why it could be better, right? I have the video live explanation of this. It's my 4th losing day in a row, I'm pretty sure. I don't hate this, but obviously, hindsight, we can look back and figure out why things went wrong. The time of day, it was 11. It was just middle of 11 right here. I also had this data low that we hadn't taken yet, 10, that we could see come back down to. We had only been going up. We'd been displacing, so I could have expected some sort of deeper pullback. Also, too, if we're really being honest with ourselves, I took this on a 30-second here, and then I was zoomed in on this. This is not a fair value gap that really has too much importance to inverse. If we're just looking at charts, if we're looking at the chart, right there, you have this fair value gap. It's not super, super clean. There's a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas. This isn't the highest quality of opportunities. But we went in, lost $100, $200 day. That right there is $400 gone first 2 days of the week. I'm not going to change anything from this day for the calculator because there wasn't any blatant mistakes here. It just wasn't ideal trades. It wasn't ideal conditions, but still 2 opportunities I tried to take. I waited for confluence and what I was looking for. It didn't turn out to be the best trade. Looking back, I can learn from it. That's just going to happen, right? That's going to happen. But that's a day that we probably hit the $200 loss. It just didn't work out the way we were hoping for. Totally fine with that one. So if we go on to Wednesday, this is where we get our first win, and this is where we could have maximized better. First off, we could have entered lower. We could have got a way better risk reward. We could have made way more money on this trade, but we entered on a 5-minute. This was a 5-minute inverse here. And I end up closing partial at this high for around 30 points, I believe. Yep, 30 points. And then I end up closing my runner around when it traded back down. When it traded back down to here, I think I had my stop right under this candle's low. So I got stopped out there, and the runner would have gone. If I would have left my runner at break even, I would have got 80 points on the runner. I would have actually even gotten 100 points on the runner. So we would have had a $200 day guaranteed on this day, and we made $91. So I'm going to, for the hypothetical, add that in, right? Because I should probably not have trailed my stop to there. And if we just left our stop at break even, targeted what we could target, we needed 30 points. We need 70 points, so we would have got 70 points, and we would have made $200 on the day. So instead of $91, we made $200, so that's an extra $109. All right, 91 plus 109, I think that's right. $200 there. And then we'd be done for the day, right? We'd be done for today. We took our trade, we took our win, and that's the day. So that's 2 days, 2 mistakes that is going to swing the P&L big. I want to continue through the week before I go over the final numbers and kind of really talk about what I'm trying to talk about here. But it does get interesting. This day here, this day ends up being a negative $240 day. How did we get there? We took our first entry here, go short. This wasn't actually a data low. Looking back, I didn't realize I was looking at the 5 minute and thought it was the data low, but this was actually the data low, so it actually got swept. Therefore, the short bias was pretty invalid past these lows. We dump lower. We dump lower there. We get break even on that trade because we didn't take any partials because we only had 1 micro. We did jump into a trade here and we lost. We lost there because we kept trying to target. We thought an inversion. And then I got in a long here and made back everything I lost here. So break even, loss, win. At this point, I'm break even on the day. We jump into a great trade right here. On this inversion, we had a great stop, 23 points. We could have targeted 50. Again, we're break even on the day. We were risking $100, and I go to break even as soon as we take this high out for no real reason, and we get stopped out. It comes down, stops out, nothing, and goes on without us. Right? We would have hit that easily. We would have guaranteed made the 200 there, and we would have been done for the day. What ends up happening? I end up actually finding another short right here when we were break even on the day. It runs and runs and runs, comes down within 1 point or 2 points of my take profit right here. And I would have actually been able to secure a $200 day anyways. Just to kind of show right there. I would have been able to get it. Stopped real short of it and reversed. At that point, I started losing my head and I started just donating money back to the market in the form of a full contract, just gambling, right? I went over that in the video, or I went over that in Friday's video, but some people didn't realize what I was explaining. So that's how we end up losing 240, literally without even it being, even if we lost 200, going in with the full contract, that mental lapse, that mental decision to just do that when I shouldn't, led me to lose $40 extra. So not even did I just lose 200 when I shouldn't have. I should not have lost on this day, but I lost 240. So that swing right there is already $240 because we should not have lost, and we should have actually been able to manage the trade and get $200 on this day. So on top of the $200 loss, we should have made 200 on this day. $649 difference, right? Not total, but difference. $649 difference if we would have managed things differently, right? Over here, this was Friday. Friday panned out the way it panned out, and yeah, I made 150. I don't think that there's any reason why I would say I could hold and hit the amount I need, but I made $50 or 150, right? So I'm not gonna change that. So, what was my point in drawing all of this up and explaining all of this? My point was that if we take this difference of the amount that we should have made in the difference in swings because of the circumstance that I told you guys, and it's not, I understand that that's trading. You're not always going to do everything perfect, maybe, or you can't just pick and choose, but just the trades that I personally took, not, I'm not going into the chart and saying, okay, oh, well, we could have taken... I'm not going to come into the chart and tell you guys, oh, we should have taken this here. This should have been our only trade, and we should have caught 40 points right there, and we would have made $200. I'm not doing that. I'm not coming in just forcing a narrative. I'm talking about trades that I physically took this week that I either mismanaged or should have never been in. So when we look at that, I just broke down how I got to the number here, which is $649. Add that to this week, which is negative $402, negative minus $402. And this week, we would actually come out ahead $247. So we would have made $247 on the week. On top of that, we would be up $400 here on the balance. So 400 would be positive 130 plus 200 and that. So let's just say 300. 100 100, 200, 300, 400. Let's just say about $400. So our account balance would be up $400. We'd have almost $2,000 of drawdown cushion, and our week would have been positive instead of minus 402. And you guys might be listening to me say all this and say, well, that's cherry picking, that's this, that, the other. And yes, it is cherry picking. I'm not saying that, it didn't go that way. It did not go that way, but it should have. And I think that's the biggest thing. That's the importance in journaling, the importance of reviewing, figuring out what went wrong. Why did I overtrade this day? Why did I do this? Why did I spiral then, that, the other, right? That's why it's so important, because you can look back and say, Monday, we should have only lost $100. Tuesday, we lost 200. Fine. That was a losing day. Should I have maybe taken the trade? Maybe, maybe not. That's debatable. But we took a good losing day. We followed our rules. We followed our plan, and we lost. Wednesday, we made 91. We should have maybe made 200 here. That's a $200 day. This would have been a $200 day. That would have been two $200 days in the week, plus a profitable week. Again, it is cherry picked. It's not how it went down, but again, it's trades I took and the way I should and know how to execute. That's the difference in the week. And that's why people, when they're trading and they're worried about, they're worried about all these different things when they're trading. And I think a lot of things that beginners focus on with their trading is not important as just the fundamentals of how are you actually executing your edge. Because week in, week out, I see that what I'm doing is profitable. I see that what I'm doing works. I see that what I'm doing is possible, but I'm holding myself back through mistakes, which is fine. It's part of the process. You're going to make mistakes. You just have to learn from it, which is why I show up every single day. That's why I'm here on a weekend making this video, looking back, figuring out what went wrong so that I can come back from this week and come back better from it, right? I'm going to come back better from this week because I look at this 400, and if I'm not going back and looking and asking myself, how did this happen? I would just be like, oh my gosh, I had three $200 days. I had 5 of them in the last 7 sessions. Like, I must be horrible. And then you go through it and you're like, oh my gosh, well, this day should have been cut in half. This day was fine. This day should have made more. This day I shouldn't have even lost. And then you start to realize that's where everything's falling apart. That's where everything is just falling apart. And that's where it has to be better, because it's no more of, I'm not sitting here trying to learn how to find trades. I'm not sitting here trying to figure out how to use my confluences. I know how to do these things, but I'm making mental errors that are keeping my stats looking like this for a monthly P&L of minus 490. I'm having a monthly P&L that looks like that instead of a monthly P&L that's green, instead of getting payouts, instead of being able to copy trade accounts. And that's really all it is. It's just these small tweaks, these small different things. It's really the difference between being profitable and not being profitable when you're right there is not as crazy as it seems. It's not as big of a gap as $400 makes it look. It's not that big of a gap. It might not even be a gap. It's just a few mental adjustments. Being more patient for my setup. Being more patient for taking really high quality opportunities. Something that looks great, right? Not something that just, you've been sitting there for 45 minutes and you're, I just want to get in something and see what happens. We can always take another trade. No, is this my setup? I don't care about how many I've lost before. I don't care how many I've won before. When I find a setup, it's my setup because it's my setup. It's not my setup because I'm down money. It's not my setup because I'm up money. If it's my setup, it's my setup. And that's the hardest part. And that's why I think that all these people that trade, that's why I know that when you see so many people on social media, on Twitter, on TikTok, especially TikTok, there's way too many TikTok kids, and they're just posting their confluences and they can barely even say the word fair value gap. They have like a lisp. There's like 8 of these TikTok traders that pop up every week that can't even say fair value gap, right? It's kind of a weird word. I'm not even saying it the best either, but I don't know. Maybe that's kind of like a niche reference. Maybe you guys know who I'm talking about, but there's these people that every time I see their video, I like to scroll past it as quick as I can because I don't even want to see them, but they like say fair value gap in like the weirdest way, and it like low-key triggers me every time. But besides the point, these people that you're seeing, every single one of these people, I promise you, isn't as profitable as they're trying to make themselves feel, right? They're blowing more accounts than they let you know. They're not getting payouts from these things as much as they want you to think. They're not doing everything like that because it's not as common as everyone's trying to make it, right? There's people that definitely make money doing it, but the gap between the people that are really doing it and the ones that aren't doing it is just that mental edge, because it's not complex to understand what an inverse fair value gap is. It's not complex to know what a liquidity sweep is. It's not complex at all. The complexity is when you're doing it live, getting to a point where it's just you're having two trades a day max. You're not jumping to a few stabs where you shouldn't be in, but you could get a few points. You're not revenge trading when you take a loss. You're not jumping into stuff that's not your setup. You're at a point where your chart is so streamlined. It's your setup or nothing. It's your take profit or your way that you scale your contracts or the way that you trail your stop or nothing. There's no more of that in between. There's no more of that garbage that I'm doing. And that's the difference. And that's why I know for a fact that trading, prop firms, if prop firms were going to go out of business because traders were getting too profitable, they would already be out of business, man, because I haven't even made $1 yet from prop firm, and I put in a lot of time into this. So you think that there's kids that are really showing up that have 2 months of experience that are making, consistent profits? They might get a payout. I'm not doubting that. But do you think they're really out there draining prop firms 10, 20 grand a month? It's not happening. The people that are doing that are the people that have so much time, so much energy, so much effort into trading that they can win, right? It's very possible. It's very realistic. It's not unrealistic to make money trading. It's not impossible. It just takes a different type of person, a different type of just ability to show up and just execute at an elite level. It's really an elite level you have to be performing at. And it's so much more complex than it looks, but at the same time, it's so much easier than it seems. It's so weird. It's a double-edged sword. It seems like it should be so hard, but yet it's easy, but then also seems like it should be so easy, but it's super hard. It's not one or the other. It's not easy, it's not hard, it's not medium. It's all three. And that's the hardest part, is realizing that and saying, what is my setup? When do I wait for it? How can I wait for it? How can I avoid paper cuts? Most of this was just paper cuts and then big bleeds. Not even paper cuts, gash wounds. And that's a $400 losing week, and that's my worst week ever on a funded account. My worst ever week, my worst ever performances. Right? Besides like crashing out days where I just lose the account, but I had a crash out day here. Crash out day here, right? 2 crash out days. That's a horrible week. If I didn't have the risk parameter in place, 2 crash out days and my account's gone, right? So this was my worst ever week, but that's how you go back and you reflect and you look back and see, where's it going wrong? What do I change? And yeah, that's what I did. And that's why I wanted to kind of make this video about, because I've just been thinking about it this weekend, because the difference between being unprofitable and profitable is big if you're just starting, but it's not very big if you're where I consider myself, which is just break-even trader, or just whatever in my head, right? Because I know that I can do it. I know I can do it without a doubt. I see the setups. I know what I'm looking for. I know how to analyze the chart, this, that, the other, whatever, right? The difference is just a different level. I just got to be performing on a different level, man, a higher level, just more discipline, more concentration, more focus, and it will come. It will come tenfold. So I don't know if you guys really, are I don't know if I covered this video the way I wanted to. It's kind of, I feel like I pressed record and I kind of missed some things I was trying to talk about and bring up some key points. But I hope that you guys kind of follow what I was saying with it and just kind of, breaking down the week. It's always nice to do that. Monday, I'm pretty sure there's no trading anyways, but I'll be traveling all day Monday and most of Tuesday, I believe, or into Tuesday, and I'll be in Madrid for the Champions League game on Wednesday, man. It's so cool. Super, super fortunate for that. I'm super excited. I'll try and make some videos. I think I'm going to try and trade a little bit in Madrid because I'm not really trying to get off my schedule. I'm just going there to watch a game. I'm not there on vacation per se. But yeah, I mean, what do we learn from this week? It's just we have to be patient, right? You hear it all the time, but you hear it all the time for reasons because it's important, right? People don't just say these things because they're buzzwords. People don't just say it because their favorite TikToker said it. They say it because it actually matters. If I can follow my rules, only take great setups, hold my trades how I need to, not overtrade, we're profitable. We're profitable. We're profitable. We'll make money. We'll make a lot of money, right? We'll make a lot of money. You guys will watch me make a lot of money. But that's a lot easier said than done. It's a lot easier to say that you're going to be super disciplined and wait for your setup. It's a lot easier to say that you're going to not revenge trade because you don't know how you're going to react after you miss TP and get break even. You don't know how you're going to react when you're in a trade and it starts going against you and you're starting to get uncomfortable, but you can't do anything about it. You just have to let it play out. But if you do the right things, you will get the right results. You get what you deserve. I got what I deserve this week. And that's why the emphasis going forwards is just I want to have consistent days of following my rules where I don't break my rule once. And then I want to have consistent, just show up next week. I want to have this just where I can look back and be like, yeah, I did everything I was supposed to do. Because then I'm either make money or I don't, right? But we can't say that about this week. We can't say that we followed our rules this day. We can say that here. We can't really say it here. We can because we had our stop just a bad spot. Good day. We can't say that we followed our rules today, on this day. We can't really say we followed rules on this day either, even though it's a green day. And that can't happen. Because if you can look back at every single day and you say, here, I followed my rules. Here, I follow my rules. 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 If you can really look back and be honest with yourself and say that you follow your rules every single day, rules being the setup, being the patience, being the discipline, being everything. If you follow what you know you're supposed to do, because we know what we're supposed to do. Every single person that's been trading, and I talk as if you've been doing it for a while. If you're new, if you're in your first year, if you're in your first 6 months, if you're in your first 3 to 6 months, then what I'm saying doesn't apply to you because you're still laying the foundation. I'm still laying the foundation too. I'm still learning, but I'm in a spot where I could make money. If you're a beginner still, which I've considered 3 to 6 months, don't worry about being profitable. Don't worry about, what small mistake. Just worry about learning. Worry about recognizing the model. Worry about reading the chart. But when you're at a point, a year and a half, 2 years in, and you know what you're looking for, you know that it's just going to come down to what you know you need to do. You know what you're supposed to do. Again, that's why I'm prefacing that. If you're 3 to 6 months in, you might not know what you need to do yet. But me, a lot of you guys that know we can be profitable, that know we have the skill, this, that, the other, and we're not doing it, we know what we're supposed to do. Right? That's why whenever you guys give me advice in the comment section, I appreciate it. I know it's coming from a good spot, but I already know what I need to do. Right? I don't need anyone else to tell me. I don't need it, whatever, because I know what I have to do. I know I have to be disciplined for my model. I know I have to execute my model when it presents itself. I know I have to hold my trades how I need to, and I can't be emotional, win, loss, or anything. I already know. I already have the blueprint of exactly what I need to do to be profitable, but yet I don't execute and I don't perform, and I have to. Plain and simple, I have to. So that's the video, man. I'm probably gonna get a few out in Madrid. Be pretty cool. But no guarantees, man. But yeah, super excited. I'm really grateful for all you guys that watch these videos, that subscribe. I really appreciate it. It's really cool. I mean, literally my best month or week ever last week. Every video got over 2,000 views, which is insane. We made $100 in ad revenue on YouTube, which is insane. And I'm just super, super grateful. I love posting on here. I love growing my YouTube channel. It's really been a whole lot of fun. So I appreciate it. If you guys haven't, make sure to subscribe. It helps me out, man. And like the video, comment, whatever, right? Help the algorithm. And let me know how you guys like this video, and do the reflecting on your week like this. Go back through the week and pick apart every trade that you take and say, was this even a good setup? Not, did it lose, right? Because you'll take a loss, but was it even a setup? Sometimes you'll be like, okay, this is never my setup, and I lost $100 here, right? Go through your week and really be critical of yourself, because then you're going to see that your worst week, that was self-inflicted, right? And once we get these self-inflicted wounds away from our accounts, we will be printing money, because we know what we need to do. We just got to go out and do it. So I appreciate all you guys. Don't want to keep making this video any longer, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know when that will be, but peace.